Okay. Good morning. Can you hear me? The person that I have present. You can just type yes on the comments. Hello. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and you're welcome to our first product design and Kanban environment class. So just type hi on the comment section that I will know that you're active. Thank you, Jennifer. The second person, can you type hi? Okay, we're 5 minutes late, so I gave that time of duration, that time of. Okay, Precious America, thank you very much. Okay, my name is Chimoya Mirabel, and I'm your product design tutor for the ETSAP program. Uh, I've worked across multiple designs and tech projects, like the the Pine Business Grow, www.pinebusinessgrow. You can check that out. You can also check out www.pineappscoopay.com. So these applications are things that you are expected to also do at the end of this course. So by the end of this class, you should be able to create such beautiful designs and have a team of developers bring them to life. Okay, so the next question would be, why are you excited to be in this class? First of all, me personally, I'm excited that by the end of this program, you all will have to understand, you all would have understood how digital products are created and get to improve people's life with your designs, and most especially go through the design process or the product development process with methods like the Kanban environments, tools, and the rest of it. Okay, so can you guys hear me clearly? If you can hear me, just type in yes. Okay, thank you very much. So in this class, I'm going to start from the very, very, very basic so that everybody can understand it, whether you're into tech before or you're just starting out in tech, or even if you think uh, in a very, very basic way, in the sense that even a child can understand the process. So basically, what I'm saying is that I'm going to break it down to the simplest thing possible. And okay, thank you very much, Precious. So that anybody, irrespective of your literate level, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to start from the very basic, which is what is design. Because for you to understand product design, you need to understand what design basically is, what makes up design, and how do you come about going from what is design to what is product design. So I'm starting from the basics so that even if you don't have any idea at all about what technology is, what tech is, you'll be able to understand it. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So quickly, I'm just going to share my screen to get started with that. So design is the process of intentionally creating a plan or a solution to solve a specific problem. So if you are on our day-to-day life, we have problems and we always sit down to think of solutions to solve that problem. You are designing a solution to solve your problem. So you see that design is not a new thing. You've been doing design all the days of your life. Anytime you have a problem, you always sit to architect or write down a plan on how to get that thing solved. So in your daily life of solving problems, you've been creating design. So that's why we have that design is the process of intentionally you are creating a plan or a solution to solve a specific problem. Now, in tech environment, we're not saying you're solving a specific problem in a visually effective and functional way. You see how we now merged that this is what you've been doing every day of your life. But this time around, we are not doing it in a visually. Visually is something you can see with your eyes, something that is visually effective and functional. Not just that it is beautiful, but it's functional. It's doing something that helps. The thing has power to help make your life easier. So in tech and digital products, design is how we shape experiences, interfaces, and systems to make them useful, usable, and beautiful for the user. So basically in tech, your design should not just be beautiful alone. It should be beautiful and functional. So yes, let it be beautiful, but let it be functional. Let it be useful to me. So we now have what we call design elements. What are design elements? When we say we are creating design, we use things to create that design. So what are those things that make up that design? Because design cannot just exist like that without design elements. So we have design elements that helps bring our design to life. So design elements are the basic building blocks used in any form of visual design. It is like ingredients. Okay, you can't say you are cooking soup without your ingredients. There's no way someone can cook soup without ingredients. It's not possible. So that's the same way design is. For you to make design, there are things you need to use to make those designs. So the first one we have is line. If you check all the designs you've ever seen all the days of your life, you must see line there. Is someone saying something? So we say that description of a line is a path between 2 points. So for you to connect 2 points together, a line is being drawn. For example, now, let's say I have this point and I want to create another point here. And I want to create another point here. Can you see that I've created a line, a connection between 2 points? And we have different types of line. Let me quickly increase this so that it can be more visual for us to see. So currently the size of this line is 1. So with 1, it was too small. You might not see it properly. But you can see the way I'm increasing the size, the line is becoming bigger, making it more visual for you to see. So I'm also going to change the color to make it more visible. So I'm saying that in line, we have different types of line. We have a solid line. When a line is straightforward like this, we'll call it a solid line. When a line is this way, we call it a dashed line. We also have dotted, but on the Figma interface, they don't have that. So we have solid line, dotted line, and dashed line. If you understood what I just explained, you can just type in understood on the comment tab. So the next one we have is shape. What are shapes? Shapes are forms created by enclosed lines. Shapes can be geometric. So when we talk about types of shape, we're talking about geometric shape and organic shape. So under geometric shapes, we have shapes like circle, rectangle, square, all those are mathematical shapes. They fall under the category of shapes called geometric shapes. So when we talk about organic or freeform, those are those ones that are so coily, different, like, okay, let me quickly illustrate. So this is a geometric shape. Triangle is a geometric shape. Circle is a geometric shape. But when I create things like this, So you can see that um, this is a shape, but it doesn't fall under the geometric shape. So that's why we call it free form or organic shape. The mathematical shapes that you know fall under the category of shape called geometric shape. Okay, now moving forward, we have colors. When we talk about colors, you cannot make design without colors. It is not possible. Either you are using black or you're using white or you're using red, you're using green. Color must be involved in any design that you're making. So, color has to communicate the mood, the importance, and the emotions of your design. Different colors have psychological effects. For example, if you are walking home now and see a red cloth in front of your door, you will get scared. Why? Because subconsciously you've been taught that red signifies danger. Well, if you go home and maybe you saw a green package, or let's say someone wrapped a gift in a green or pink or colors that you know that it excites you. If you get home, you'll be like, wow, this looks beautiful. Because psychologically, you've not been groomed to associate that color with danger. But immediately you saw that red cloth in front of your door, your brain set into panic mode. Ah, it's dangerous. Maybe someone wants to kill you. You begin to panic like a typical African person that you are. So you see that colors have languages. We have different types of colors and they signify a lot of things. For example, we have green. When people see green, they think about money, they think about farm, they think about something being fresh, they think about growth. Uh-huh. We have red. Red signifies danger. It also signifies power. It also signifies adrenaline rush, something to boost your adrenaline level. So we have blue. Blue signifies professionalism. That's why you see banks like First Bank, they have blue as their color. You see Piggy Vest. Piggy Vest use blue as their brand color. You see Netflix use red as their brand color because red is not just danger. Just like I said, red can signify power, and red can be used to stimulate the psychological action of you to take action. So red signifies that you should also take action. That's why Netflix has it as their brand color. So you see that all these colors have different meaning. So during the course of this our design journey together, you'll be doing your assignments on colors and getting to know other colors and what they signify. So the next design element we're talking about is texture. Texture is the visual feel of a surface, whether it is smooth, it is rough, it is glossy. It adds depth and realism to the design. For example, now looking at this interface, you can see that this place is, you'll be like, wow, this is smooth. It's looking smooth. But if I get just a quick one, let me get another interface, then we can compare them together. Okay. So looking at this interface, you can see that the texture is is somehow it's not as smooth as this other one. So you see that what texture does to a design. Texture gives it depth. It makes it have a feel. It gives you this realism that looking at this now, you think that this in your mind you think that okay, this is a cloth and it is entering into the write up is entering into it. These are all what effect of texture causes to a design. So back here now, I was trying to explain texture and what it does to a design, that it gives feel of a surface, giving the feeling that the surface is smooth, rough, glossy, and it also helps to add depth and realism to the design. So the next one we have is space. Space, the area around and between elements. White space or negative space help organize and reduce cluster. Okay, you can see the effect of space in play here now. The space between this line and this line, you can see the white space. Without this white space, everything will be jam-packed together and it will not be easy to be read. So you see how white space is creating a very clean visual appeal in this my write-up. If you don't understand what I'm saying, let me repeat what I'm saying again. The space between the first line, which is a part, blah 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 blah, and the second line, which is shapes, blah blah blah. You can see this white space between it. It's part of design, because without that white space, what I have here will not be readable. Everything will be clustered together. So space is the area between two elements. The white space or negative space help organize and reduce cluster. The sixth one we have is form, 3D representation of shapes. It is useful in realistic product mock-up or physical product design. So most of us have seen 3D elements. We use it in design. You've seen a cartoon that has big head, that you feel that it is okay. Let me quickly search for a sample just to carry everybody along. For people that haven't seen, what 3D shape is all about, let me give a quick sample. So this is an example of a 3D shape. You can see how it is. It has depth. It has depth. While okay, I even have it here. This is a 3D shape. So if you don't know what a 3D shape is, I've given you a sample example of what it is. Then we have value and tone. Value and tone refers to the lightness or darkness of color. It creates contrast and emphasis. So speaking of lightness and darkness of a color, which is tone, you can see, for example, we can use this interface in sample study. You can see how this color faded from dark to light and brightened up. These are things we consider in design. So depending on the feel you want your design to look, you get to combine these elements in that way to make it uh, give you what you want. Just like in cooking your soup, depending on the amount of ingredients you want to impute, it's left for you to decide that. That is the same way we have these elements at your disposal for you to arrange them to give you the design that you intend to achieve at the end of your design process. So we have typography. Typography is the style and appearance of text. When you see text, typography, and font, like how I wrote these things. So when you see text, typography, font, they are referring to your ABCD, like the text that you use to write in your design. So it's the style and appearance of text, it affects readability and brand tone. Okay, now talking about, let me quickly give you a sample. So now I've written this. Looking at this now, you'll be like, it has this emotional feel, be like, this thing is looking somehow. So some people, they might like it. It suits the design they want to do with the small letter and capital letter cap cases. It might go well with someone else. In another design, someone will be like, no, I don't want to use that. I want to use uh, the regular caps lock or small letters. The person is at liberty to do that. So depending on the style, how you want your text, your font to be. Then when it comes to font, remember I said that font and text and typography, they are all the same thing, just different naming. Uh-huh. So now when it comes to font, we have what we call the font family, we have what we call the font style, and we have what we call the font size. Let me type it out in case you are not hearing me properly or you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that in font, we have font family, we have font style, then we have font size. So when we talk about font, we have font family, font style, font size. Now, using this Figma environment as a case study, the font family of this particular font now, the font family of this particular font now, we can see that under typography, it's telling us that the font family is called Inter. So if I click here now, I can see other font families, and I can change the font family as I see fit, depending on the style, the kind of emotion I want my design to evoke. So now I've changed the font family of this particular write-up to Italiano. Then the font style is regular. Then, okay, let me change to another family that has multiple children, because I like referring to the style as children. So this is the font family. Then this one also has one child. Okay, let me use Poppins. Poppins should have multiple kids. So under this font family, Poppins, we're having bold, we're having italic, we're having bold italic. You can see that under this font family, they have a lot of children. Then it's now left for you to choose based on how you want your design to feel. I hope you understood that. So that's basically font family, font style. This font family refers to the family name. The font style refers to the child of the family. Then the font size. When we talk about font size, how big we want our text to be. And here I can change it depending on the size I want the font to have. So I've, for now, I think it has given you an insight of what typography is all about. So let me quickly come back and, so do you have any question so far? Jennifer, did you say you have question? Hello, Jennifer. Can you hear me? Jennifer, are you here? Yeah, what's the question? Okay, okay, great. So now coming back, we've talked about what design is, what are the design elements. So the next one we're talking about is the design principles. So when we talk about design principles, um, these are the rules or guidelines designers use to organize their design elements effectively. Think of them as the grammar of visual language. Okay, let me also break it down in our day-to-day life. Okay, let me also break it down in in our day-to-day life where we have that for example, when cooking rice and beans, we have principles or rules that beans is harder than rice, so you cook beans first so that beans can get a little tender before you add rice. So design principle is just like that also. The principles that we follow to ensure that our design is looking appealing, it's functional, and it's not looking all over the places. So design principles are the rules or guidelines designers use to organize the design element effectively. Think of them as grammar of visual language. So these are the list of the design principles. We have balance. Balance is the distribution of visual weight. It can be asymmetric, it can be symmetric. Symmetric is formal, or asymmetric is informal but dynamic. Okay, let me, for beginners, I don't know. But if you look at this particular design, you can see that there is balance. Everything seems to be in the middle of this page. And when I'm referring to point, will be here, like it's not scattered. They applied the principle of balance. If I look at it, everything I need to know about this flyer it's in my face. Like I don't need to struggle much to understand or to look at the left and look at the right to see all the elements. They used balance to create that effect, making it possible for the reader to just see it and see that this is a symmetric balance. So the next one we have is contrast. Contrast is the difference between elements. Most times you see a flyer, they will write some things in blue and write some things in black. They are trying to bring your attention to something. For example, let's check. Okay, let's see how they use contrast here. Contrast here, you can see how they wrote this ones in black and wrote this one in blue. They've already told us that this is what is most important. They want us to know that thank God it's Friday. That is what is most important to the person that designed this thing, so that you feel appreciated or feel happy that today is Friday. But they will also want you to contact them if you feel the need to contact them. That's why they subtly put their number there, making it small, writing it in another different color. So this is contrast in play. We have different ways. Okay, the same thing here. This is contrast in play. Here I use small letter D and I use other capital letters. Same here also. This is contrast in play. Trying to, because anybody that sees this will be like, ah, why did they? Okay, they wrote this one in small letter. It will capture the person's attention. So basically, contrast is used to capture the users or the readers or the audience attention. So the next one we have is emphasis. Emphasis is making one part of a design stand out. It helps direct focus on what matters most. So the same thing, emphasis and contrast, they work hand in hand. In fact, basically most times they're just the same thing. They're just the same thing. Because you can see that emphasis is saying that it's making one part of the design stand out. It helps direct focus to what matters most. So you can see here, basically here, you can see how the T is made longer, the I is made longer, and every other thing. These are things to capture the audience or the user attention to what really matters. So you can use contrast, or you can use emphasis to draw attention to whatever you need to, whatever you need people's attention on your design. So we also have proximity. Proximity is placing related items close together. It improves organization and readability. Now, a perfect example of proximity is this. Let's say that, okay, this is the contact information for this person. If the person had wrote phone number here and brought Facebook contact here, like his Facebook name here, and place it here, and bring LinkedIn here, and bring TikTok here, it will be disorganized. Because I might just, as a reader or someone that have low attention span, I could have just look, if I just look at the flyer and only see their contact number, be like, "Ah, this people don't have Facebook." I might not have the time to come and start looking around the flyer to find every other contact they place there. So that's why proximity is about grouping related items together. You can see that the person grouped book now and Instagram handle together. So that when, even if you are looking for the contact, once you see this, you see this immediately. Rather than going around the whole page seeking for their information. Then you can see how he differentiated the information about contacting them and this other one asking you to like, comment, and save. He didn't put all of them in one place. He kept this one here, separating this and separating this also. So this is proximity in play. The next one we have is repetition. Repetition is using elements like colors, fonts, shapes. It builds consistency and strengthens identity. So look at this design now. You can see how this person maintained the blue color around the whole design. Repetition is in play here. Had they been he used red for this one, green here, pink here, you see, it would now become flyer of many colors, and it's not appealing to the eye. And anybody that looks at it might not even be attracted, or the person's attention will not be held down for the person to read the content of the flyer and get informed. But with repetition, you can see how everything came together, making it more appealing and making it more readable. So this is repetition in play. So the next one we have is white space. So empty space that lets a design breathe. It prevents clutter and enhances focus. You can see how white space played a very major role in this design. A lot of white space. Now bringing the whole attention to the middle. So design principles, they all work together. Both balance, contrast, all of them, they work together to ensure that the design comes out perfectly. The next one we have is movement. Movement is the path the viewer's eyes follows naturally in a design. Okay, just like looking at this flyer for the first time, where did your eye go to? Your eye followed this Thank God It's Friday thing. It followed it down before you even started seeing other things, and maybe out of curiosity, you decide to zoom to see the contact details and the other action buttons that they have made in place for you. So this is what's it called? Movement in play. Another one is hierarchy. Hierarchy guides the user on what to look at first or second and so on. It helps in achieving, it is achieved using sizes, colors, and placement. You can also see hierarchy in place here. Hierarchy, which one is bigger? Whenever you look at this flyer, the first thing you even see is this TGIF because it's big. It was made big so that using hierarchy, so that the user's first attention will be on it before you start to read, okay, they wrote thank God it's Friday underneath. Okay. Before you start seeing every other thing that was placed in the flyer. So that is hierarchy in play. Then we have unity. Unity ensures that all elements feel like they all belong together. Consistent style, tone, and alignment. Just like I said, all the principles they must work hand in hand to achieve a appealing design. So unity is all about, okay, I'm done with my design. Are all of them feeling connected? Are all of them feeling like they all belong together? Yes, nobody's feeling out of place here. You're not seeing red or big shapes that doesn't make sense on the design. So these are what design principles entails, ensuring that everything comes together and uh, they are united and none of them is looking out of place. So that is design principles. So the next one we have is types of design. Yes, we have types of design. We have graphics design, we have product design, we have UI design, we have UX design, we have web design, we have fashion design, we have interior design, then we have industrial design. So I like taking everybody back to the basics so that even if you are in anywhere at all and you are being called upon to defend what design is all about, you won't just start with Figma. As someone that is well grounded in your chosen field in tech, you should be able to cite other aspects that are not just to show that okay, you didn't just wake up and jump into design. You were well informed about what it's all about. So now that's why I brought in the four types of design based on the field to have the graphics design. Graphics design and product design is not the same thing. Graphics design is communicating ideas visually through posters, branding, and ads. For example, this one that I used say all this thing that I've been saying since morning is a product of graphics design. This is a product of graphics design. Then we have product design. Product design is designing digital products like apps, websites, dashboard with a focus on solving users' problem. For example, now your Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, all of them falls, you can create all of them under the product design category. So let me quickly bring in an interface just to carry people that might not know what I'm talking about along. Okay, you create it under product design. Now, let me talk more about graphics design. Graphics design, we have applications that helps people do graphics design. We have Canva, we have Photoshop. Though for people that are well grounded in Figma, you can also create this in Figma. But that's not what Figma is all about. I'm trying to differentiate it. I'm not saying that you can't create flyer on Figma. I'm trying to say that the main purpose of Figma is for application, website, and the rest of it. But as someone that is well grounded, you know how to use your tools, you can create flyers on Figma. But applications that are meant for flyer designs or graphics designs are Photoshop, Canva, Adobe Illustrator, and so on. But for product design, which is the designing digital products such as apps, websites, dashboard with the focus of solving a problem. That is trying to design something like this that looks like your everyday WhatsApp app, Facebook app, TikTok app. You do that under product design. And the application we will be using in this class is Figma, which is where I am currently displaying and teaching you from. So we also have UI design. UI design, we also call them user interface design, is designing how digital product looks, like designing the button, the icon, the colors, and the layout. Like designing the UI design is all about designing these buttons, these icons, the colors that should be used, and so on. So we have UX design. UX design, which is user experience, is designing how the product feels, the user flow, the accessibility, and the usability of a particular product. So UI and UX, they work hand in hand. Why? Because UX is all about, for example, now I design this app. Then let's say I didn't now put this icon that helps people upload new field, new tweet on Twitter. As the user experience designer, when UI designer is done and I'm testing out this app, I feel like because I'm testing it from the user experience design. The experience is, if I'm using it, how do I feel? Is it making my life easier? Is it making my life harder? Are the icons placed in places that my hands can touch? Like those are the roles of user experience. So if the user experience designer is testing it out, be like, oh no, I would like you to reduce the size of the button. I would like you to put it here so that the user will not stress in tapping the button, so that everything can look neat. No, I don't like this color because the color is too dark. Some users might not see it well. So this is where the user experience designer comes in and saying these things I'm currently saying. I hope that was understood. Then the next one is now the difference between UI designer, UX designer, and product designer. Product designer is when one person is doing UI design and UX design. Let me repeat it again. Product design is the combination of UI design and UX design. Most advanced countries like America, Europe, they have big teams. They can afford to have big teams where these roles are divided. But typical African environment that I've seen so far, you see one person doing the whole UI and UX design. But I'm saying that in most advanced countries, one person will be doing UI, another person will be doing UX. Then they also have someone else that will oversee everything as the product designer. But in Africa here, we have one person doing the whole thing. So basically, we have product designers. I hope that was understood. If you understood the difference between the product design, the UI, and the UX, just type yes, I understood in the comment section um, to ensure me that you heard and understood what I've explained so far. Then we have the web design. The web design is designing websites, balancing content, visuals, and user interactivity. So basically, here we call web design refers to the front end people that code. Yes, product designers have designed the websites, they've designed the apps, they've designed the dashboards. Then the web designers, which are also the front end developers, they get to design the website and then bring it to life. Then we have the fashion design. Here we know all the tailors in our streets. We know fashion designers. We know Vicky James. We know the rest of it. They fall under these categories of design, designing clothes and apparel. So you now know what fashion design is all about, how to differentiate it from product design, graphics design, web design, and the rest of it. Then we have interior designers. They plan the layout and the decoration of spaces, homes, and offices. So people that you call to tell you how your home will be decorated, the color you should use, the kind of furniture you should buy, the texture of the wall. These are all the works of interior designers. So that if you want your house to look heavenly, they'll tell you the elements, the design ele- products to buy, or you give them the money to get them and then decorate your home the way you would love it to be. Then we have industrial design. Industrial design, they design physical products like furniture, tools, electronics. your phone, your laptop. Those people, they design how your laptop will look like, the back of your laptop, the feel, the phone, the people designing iPhone, the people designing furniture, the people designing your what's it called, tripod stand, a lot of things. So they fall under industrial design. So typing, I have understood the types of design in the comment section to ensure that you have understood what I've said so far. Then, now that we've known the types of design, now that we've known the types of design, our major interest in this course is product design, which is number two, which is designing digital products. We want to be the next Mark Zuckerberg. We want to design an app that will be better than TikTok. We want to design something that will be more powerful than Facebook, Twitter, and the rest of them. You don't even need to design something that is more powerful. You might just design something that Africans relate to, because sadly, all those applications we've been consuming is not African owned. So maybe by the end of these classes, we'll have people designing applications that Africans can call our own, and then something that we can relate to, something that speaks to us, something that connects with our spirit. So this is why you are in the product design class. So what is product design? Product design is the process of identifying users' problems and creating digital solutions like applications, websites, or platforms that are functional, usable, and visually appealing. So, what is product design? We say that it is identifying user problems. There are 1 million and 1 million problems in Africa today. But one sad thing about it is that people are rushing to businesses that other people have been doing. You see people rushing to hotels because they see other people are building hotel. You see other people jumping into fashion design because that's what other people have been doing. You see, like, mostly we'll have this herd mentality or crowd mentality of going to where everybody's going to. Okay, fortunately, we now have tech. Tech is a good place to be, and we have a lot of problems in Africa that can be automated. This is where product design comes in. Even if you don't have the money to develop it, as a product designer, you are powerful. You have the superpower to, on your own, create the flow of how the problem will be solved. Then create a team or look for investors that can invest in that particular idea to pay developers to bring it to life. So you see, as a product designer, you are the first step in the as a product designer, you are the first person. Everything starts with you. You'll be able to visualize how this problem will be solved. For example, let's say people travel in your village. And the funny one beautiful thing about product design is that you can start small. Maybe in your village, people travel 100 miles to buy, what's it called? Buy food or to have access to other businesses. That should not be happening. As a product designer, you might be like, no, this should stop. Instead, even if there's no development in my village, but there is a few network, someone in my village should be able to place order in the nearest market around you and have those things delivered there. So now you have people in your village having access to the market women in the nearest village who also have a mobile app, having access to their store in their phone. The person just needs to say, okay, Mama Nkechi's shop. What is that her shop? Um, Glorious Empire. Click on Glorious Empire on the app you might have designed. See the products they have uploaded that they have. Select and make payment. Mama Nkechi logistics partner will just carry that thing to the person's house, because the person might have imputed their address and the location of the delivery. You see that you were able to solve that little problem. So it's not a must you do the social app, like where people chat. You can do real life problems that people are going through. It might be NEPA bill application, it can be school paying application. I'm just trying to open your mind to tell you that social media apps are not the only thing a product designer can do. You mustn't create app where people go and chat and waste their time. We have a lot of applications doing that currently. So one beautiful thing about Africa and Nigeria in general is that a lot of our processes are still manual. A lot of things that we do every day are still manual. And tech is providing the opportunity for you to come in, provide an automated process to that, and make money. So you don't need to leave the country to make money. One beautiful thing is that, okay, some people that have left the country, they've gone to outside country, they've seen that, okay, this is how these people automated their own. Then they are planning to come back to Nigeria and do that. But another beautiful part of tech is that you that is here, you're with your phone, you're with television, movies, you're seeing how it's been done in another country. You can just implement it from here. Maybe now liaise or partner with that person outside the country as your partner to bring in the money for you to develop that particular thing. I'm going to summarize once again. I'm trying to say that as a product designer, every application that you've seen started with a product designer. The product designer would think out how the process will be, write it down, sketch it out. When they are now done, that is when the developer will now say, okay, this is what you want me to achieve, right? Okay. They'll follow your plan and bring that into life. So product design is the process of identifying the user's problem and creating digital solutions, such as applications, websites. It can be a website, it can be a platform, it can be an app that are functional, useful, and visually appealing. Product designers mix problem solving with creative thinking. So when you find a problem, you think out, how am I going to solve it to make life easier for all the parties involved? So product designers, they collaborate with developers, business teams, and users to develop and build products that deliver value, such as our Pine Business Grow, the software I talked about earlier when I started. You can check it out, www.pinebusinessgrow.com. It's solving the African problem, whereby, for example, I get into Enugu State and I don't even know any business in Enugu State. What I just need to do is download the Pine Business Grow app, change my location to Enugu, tap Enugu, like on the webs on the app, tap Enugu, and all the businesses that have been onboarded by Pine Business Grow will come up in Enugu interface. Now I'm in Enugu, I'll be like, okay, I want to go to Toscana. Okay. But I want my food to be ready before I get to Toscana. I'll just place order there. Click Toscana, go to their interface, have my orders ready, and when I get there, I'll just tap, yes, I'm here. They serve me. So I don't even need to talk to the salesperson. Or even if I get there and the salesperson, they are very busy with other customers that don't have the app, I can just sit down there, place my order. The manager gets the food. Sorry, the manager gets the order, have seen the table I inserted as my table. They'll just bring my order for me to just carry my order and bring to my table. So I don't need to come and start saying, hey, waiters, waiter, all those things. Those are problems and it is irritating. So you see how such business problem have been solved using technology. So core goals of product design is solve real users problem, ensure great experiences, create intuitive interfaces, and help users achieve goals easily, ensure businesses growth and retention. You can see how this goals brings everybody together. It solves the user's problem. It helps the business person make more money. And also, there is this current challenge of when you go to a bar to eat, a sales girl she'll now come and start reading out. We'll have a goosey, we'll have a can. That is manual. It's too manual. Everything should be automated. With the Pine Business Grow app, you've seen their products. You just need to place order. You don't need to talk too much. Most times, someone that is dying, you're reading out menu for the person. The person will get tired easily now. Another thing is that after eating, if the food is 2,000, the salesperson will write 2008, stealing money from you. But on the Pine Business Grow app, you have everything there. You make payments there. So whatever the business owner places as their price is what you are paying for. So making it impossible for the salesperson to steal from the business owner or also steal from the customers. So these are problems product design is solving on a day-to-day level. So I want to urge you that by the end of today, I need you to start looking out for problems in your environment, problems in your school, because we have the Pineapple School Pay, which helps students to pay school fees in any of their schools just from their mobile app, rather than all this standing in the bank, wasting 520 hours a day queuing in the bank, waiting for them to give you remitter to pay school fees. So these are problems that product design is solving on a day-to-day level. And it starts by paying attention to your environment. Start thinking, what can I solve today? And that's what I said. That's why I said that product designers, you have the power because everything starts with you. Everything starts with you. So it's not like you're waiting for, and that, just like what's it called? Developers wait for product designers to bring the ideas to them. But the product designer, you have that superpower to bring that, like you're the first point of action. So start looking at your environment, start looking in your churches, in your schools, in your family. What are solutions that you can solve using design? So, okay, that's great. Jennifer Onyamara, that's great, that's great. So, okay, before we end the class, let me talk about the Figma application that we'll be using. So I said that the application we'll be using for this class is called Figma. So I would like you to go to www.figma.com and follow the sign up process. Because in our next class, which is on Monday, yes, we'll be talking about the Figma environment, the the Figma tools, how to use them, what they mean, and how to create products using them. So if you've understood that, just say yes, I've understood. And also, um, remember what I just said, go to www.figma.com, follow the sign up process. And if you're having any issues, just let me know on the Discord channel and I will provide solution and guidance. So who do I still have on the live class? Is it Onyamara or Jennifer Ifoma? Hello? Can you type hi on the chat? Hello? If you can hear me, just type hi. Okay, so just www.figma.com. Follow the sign up process. Okay, follow the sign up process on www.figma.com and sign up so that on our next class we'll be discussing the Figma interface and teaching you how to design and develop, how to design your own applications, the different frames and the rest of it. So have a wonderful day. And for those that will be watching later, do make sure that you also sign up on www.figma.com as it's the application that or the interface that we'll be using in this our design journey. See you and until next time. I am Chimoya Mirabel, your design tutor for ETSAP program. Have a wonderful day. Bye.